This is Martin Auer speaking again from Science Sales Academy, and this is video number 132, and it is about the 5 basic rules for communication without misunderstanding. A big or a minor misunderstanding. Has this ever happened to you? Well, of course. You explained something to your counterpart and everything was perfectly clear. At least you believed in that. Only afterwards you recognized by pure coincidence that nothing was clear at all and that your conversation partner has understood something totally different than what you have explained. Especially as a specialist for one field, we are dealing with our own matter on a daily basis, and as such we run the risk of too easily assuming that our conversation partner are on a similar level of experience and knowledge as we are, which of course is not always the case. Especially in sales, very often it is of crucial importance that the facts which we as salespersons want to communicate arrive just as meant in the mind of our conversation partner. If what is said does not trigger the desired association in the receiver's head or does not establish the intended image, the misunderstanding occurs. What is said is not correctly understood and develops questions and confusion. For us as salespersons, the consequences may be serious. Either a completely wrong picture emerges in the head of the recipient, or one loses his conversation partner in the communication, because some of the recipient's thinking capacities are then used to resolve the misunderstanding, and thus are no longer available for the actual communication. In order not to get into such a situation and simply to communicate better, understandably, and without misunderstanding, there were 5 simple basic rules. First basic rule for communication without misunderstanding. In the case of a conversation which is not conducted with technical specialists, as few technical terms and foreign words as possible should be used. By that, misunderstandings are easily prevented. It is important to focus on the customer and to structure the conversation well. Specialists can tolerate more technical terms than persons who are not so much involved in the matter. Communication with people from a different cultural or social environment is, of course, more critical in terms of developing misunderstandings. We should always bear in mind it is not important to level out ourselves by using as many technical terms as possible, but it is much more important that what is said goes directly to the conversation partner without misunderstanding. Second basic rule for communication without misunderstanding. Comparisons and illustrative examples can help laymen or inexperienced people to better understand complicated facts. By that, a misunderstanding does not even begin and understanding problems are clarified faster. Basic rule number 3 for communication without misunderstanding. Not everyone feels safe and secure in one special language, and perhaps the sales talk is also conducted with customers from abroad. Therefore, as less as possible abbreviations should be used. This also reduces the likelihood of misunderstandings. Number 4, principle of communication without misunderstanding. In the case of long negotiations or presentations, it is very important to summarize briefly in between, in stages and chapters, what has been said. By this, all can follow the conversation and there is no misunderstanding. Number 5 basic rule. At the end of the conversation, the discussion should be briefly summarized, again in order to bring all the participants to the same level. With these simple and fast to implement tips, communication is significantly improved during important conversation. The likelihood of misunderstandings is reduced, which will significantly improve the quality of each conversation. Just try it, it's easy. Please subscribe to my channel and never miss a new video, here on the right bottom side. It's totally free of cost for you, and there are no further obligations whatsoever. For you, it is only one single mouse click, and for me, it helps a lot. Thank you very much. And as your personal starting point to more effectiveness in everything what has to do with people, just click on this little eye at the right top side. Here is free for download your personal disc booklet, your most important foundation for success in strategic sales in life science and biotech market. You have questions? Just contact me. My contact information is on my homepage, thesciencesalesacademy.com. Thanks a lot for listening and watching. Take care and see you again next time.